We've got people traveling across state lines to check out the brewery. Sales seem to be going up, and somebody offered me $25,000. All on this episode of Tangle Tales, the podcast. Well, hello. Thanks for joining me. This room got rearranged, so now I'm on the north-facing side of my apartment. So if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoy this new location. Let's dive right into this episode. It's been a couple of weeks since I've recorded. Sorry about that. But I wanted to go ahead and give an update on all things brewery related. So starting off, I've had a couple of people, traveling across state lines from other parts of the country to come down, maybe not specifically to come to the brewery, but to come to Texas, in or around Texas, and made a little venture out to the brewery just to come check that out from videos that they've seen on YouTube. So that's super cool. I'm starting to hear more feedback about the YouTube channel in real life. Like people will come in and be like, "Hey, I've seen your videos." And I've had a couple of people reach out to me on Messenger and say, "Hey, I'm swinging by to check out the place." So that's been really rewarding. This is awesome to have this community on the YouTube channel as well as the podcast. I know more people watch the YouTube videos, but still got some people listening to the podcast. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so YouTube is starting to pick up a little bit. I posted a video 2 weeks ago. No, I'm sorry. I posted a video last week when this podcast comes out that was detailing the struggles with scaling a small brewery. And I know I've talked about it several times on this podcast, so it wasn't really news to anybody that listens to the podcast, but I kind of put it all together in a nice compiled video, and that seemed to take off pretty decent and got a lot of feedback in the comments about that. I requested people shoot me an email if they had any desire to start a brewery or were in the process of starting a brewery, and I would love to jump on a Zoom call and record it, put it out onto the channel just to kind of get these conversations out there to see how I think through the process and maybe to think about the struggles that other people are going through or the ideas that they have for a concept. And I think it would just be a nice little helpful conversation. So I had a couple of people reach out about that. So tentatively scheduling some just conversations with those folks. So look out for those on the YouTube channel if you're interested in that. As far as the brewery itself is concerned, I've noticed that there are some new faces coming into the building, which is the best thing that can happen, getting new faces in as well as some regulars. So sales seem to be increasing a little bit. Now, mind you, this is still very limited amount of sales, few $100 a day in beer sales, but it's starting to increase a little bit. The summer is brutal here in Texas. For those that are not in Texas, we have been in, I think it's 30 days in a row over 100 degrees. And this week in particular has been really hot and steamy. So peaking out at like 105, 106 every day for the last week. So that's been a little tough to handle. The brewing process is obviously affected by the heat. My fermentation temperatures are affected by the heat. So I'm waking up at like 5 a.m. to get up there and go brew. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, but we're getting through it. It's August, so hopefully we've only got another month of this, but it's Texas, so it could be hot until November. I heard that there's a cold winter coming up too, so double fun, enunciate. So that's exciting that beer sales are increasing a little bit and production is steadily increasing. I sent out another keg to Troy Lumberyard. They're still carrying Tanglefoot on draft, so that's cool. The only spot in town that currently has it. So if anybody's in Temple and I'm not open, go check out our friends over at Troy Lumberyard. And then another exciting thing, through the video about distribution, I got messaged on email with somebody that was interested in giving me $25,000 for the expansion that I talked about in the scaling video. This was crazy. Very, very interesting. I ended up setting a meeting just because I wanted to pick their brain and chat about it a little bit. But that was kind of a defining moment for the YouTube channel in particular. So this was a person that doesn't necessarily follow the beer scene, and they just saw my video and was interested in the concept and the process. And so having somebody offer that was very it made me feel a lot of ways. So I have a lot of friends and family that have offered me investment money and customers, regulars. But I've always been really hesitant. I haven't taken any investment money except for a loan for my mom. But I don't know. I just have a lot of reservations about utilizing somebody else's money and putting that at risk when I'm not even certain that, I've got a profitable business, or at least a business that can scale and grow and return profits to those people. So it was really interesting to have a perspective from somebody that I like do not have an emotional attachment to, like my family and friends, where like I don't want to lose their money. But had a conversation and really got my mind going about the possibilities of, potentially, if I'm going to take a loan from a bank, why not take money from an investor or investors and potentially scale the business in that way? So, got a lot of stuff on my mind right now, but definitely pursuing the expansion project. I've been looking into tanks and looking into kegs and reaching out to vendors and things like that. So, kind of getting some numbers down for what it would take to at least double the capacity there, which is not a ton, maybe 300 barrels of beer per year. So, that's exciting. I'll keep updates coming as they come to me and as I make decisions in the business. Again, that's the whole point of this podcast and the YouTube channel, is to document the growth of a small brewery. So yeah, I guess just a shout out to everybody that has been supportive on the channel and in person and coming to the brewery. It's really awesome to see the support from people out there that just are interested in what I'm doing here. Not even just beer related, but with a small business. So that's super cool. Any feedback, please send it my way. Comment, send me an email, Andy@tanglefootbrewing.com. If you want to schedule one of those calls, we can jump on a scheduled Zoom call and record it for the channel, and could be a little stimulating conversation. Yeah, but that's I think that's pretty much it since the last time that I jumped on the podcast. Got a lot of a lot of stuff rolling around in my head. Nothing too crazy, but that's all I got for today. It's another quick one. That's pretty much the calling card of this podcast, is short, sweet, and to the point. So if you are yeah, interested in learning more about the brewery, keep following along and I'll keep giving you updates. So cheers, na zdraví, till next time. Thank you all.